Hey, it's Pastor Dan from Dexter Gospel Church with the Proverbs Practical. I appreciate you watching. This proverb observes that oppression is a sign that a leader doesn't see things God's way. We're in Proverbs 28, verse 16. It says, "The prince that wants understanding is also a great oppressor, but he that hates covetousness shall prolong his days." So when it says he wants understanding, this is the old way of saying he doesn't have it. It's not something that he earnestly desires and is actively pursuing, but rather something that he lacks and needs. So there's a correlation between understanding and gentleness as a ruler. Anytime a ruler began to oppress the people who were under him, it showed that he lacked understanding. He wasn't wise. The wording here seems to imply one who tries to seize as much as he can from the people who are under him. He views them as a field to be harvested rather than as a flock to be nurtured. And of course, this can apply to people other than what we think of as princes. This is not just someone in the royal family. It can be a supervisor at work. It can be anyone with power socially and politically. It all comes down to treating the people under his authority badly for his own advantage. When he does that, he proves he doesn't really understand how God and the world really work. And sadly, because he lacks understanding, he might not even realize what he's doing or why it won't work. He might have convinced himself that he's just showing them a strong hand, that he's really showing firm, decisive leadership. He might be like Rehoboam, trying to assert his authority out of insecurity. It appears that even Solomon's own son didn't catch the meaning of this proverb spoken by his father. Sometimes the ruler, the prince, the powerful person doesn't see the truth of what he's doing or the outcomes of it precisely because he lacks understanding. But the outcome of lacking understanding, of not seeing things God's way, is oppression and misery for those who are under his authority. The contrast here is the ruler who hates unjust gain. He doesn't want what belongs to his people. He respects what they have. He wants to see what they have increased in their hands. He doesn't want more for himself, and he isn't ruling for what he can get, but rather for what he can give. Nehemiah would be a good example of this. He was the governor of Jerusalem. He was a wealthy, powerful, politically connected individual, and while others were taking advantage of the poor and forcing them into bad loans and things like that, he could have done that. But instead of using the poorer people of Jerusalem to enrich himself, he used his resources to protect and help them, giving away much of what he had to help others while purchasing and receiving nothing himself. Even Solomon, with his beautiful temple and his high taxes and his great palace and his enormous wealth, even Solomon used the money that he received for the benefit of the nation and in ways that would secure it for generations to come. He built infrastructure, trade fleets, and alliances, not just personal palaces and luxuries. The outcome of this is that the ruler who oppresses his people for his own gain is likely headed for a short reign and possibly a short life. The ruler who cares more for his own people than his own possessions, who operates by a godly understanding, will increase his length of reign and possibly even his length of life. Of course, as with so many proverbs, this isn't saying that every wise ruler will have an incredibly long reign or that every bad ruler will be deposed in a matter of months, but it reveals a principle that righteousness is more durable than unrighteousness. Authority handled responsibly, selflessly, tends to endure much better than ruthless self-interest. The Machiavellian cynic would deny this, I suspect, would say that all that matters is power, and you should be as ruthless and self-focused as you have to be in order to hold it. And you'll have an advantage over someone who handicaps themselves with sentimental concerns and morality. Ruthlessness is seen as strength. This verse shows that isn't really how the world works. Whenever you take a long enough view, righteousness, not ruthlessness, leads to power and longevity. This is why, even in our political world, this is why the self-interested, those who would take advantage of the people under their authority, usually have to lie and deceive in order to take or hold on to power. They know that no one would willingly give it to them if they knew they were just going to take advantage of others with it. Even the unsaved world is always looking to give authority to those who will use it for the good of those under their authority. We all want leaders who care more about our well-being than their profit, and God wants that too. I hope this video is a help to you. If it is, give it a like, hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more insights from the Scriptures. Until next time, I hope you stay well and take care of those under your authority.